everybody, Miskatonics here, and today we're going to talk about my absolute favorite thing in the whole entire world coming up in 3 weeks, Dragon Con. It's pretty much the greatest place ever in the whole world, at least to me. So we're just going to talk about some do's and don'ts of the con, and these are kind of like general con rules sometimes too. So as you guys may or may not know, Dragon Con is a 5-day multi-fandom convention held in about 5 different hotels in downtown Atlanta. It's super amazing and all kinds of cool guests, all kinds of fun people, lots of fun things to do. If it's your first time though, oh God. It's so overwhelming. Like I remember Kevin and my first year, I don't know what I expected, but it was not that. Like, it was not. Like, I think last year, I could be wrong, but I think the total count was like 70,000 people or something like that. That might be off, but it's something really insane like that. So, over the years, I've kind of learned things that I really like to do or things that I need to do and things to not do. And I've just watched other people do things and I'm like, yikes. So here's kind of a list of do's and don'ts. The first thing I would say is stay hydrated. So, like I said, you're in downtown Atlanta for 5 days in August and September. Atlanta is known as the hottest place on planet Earth. It is naturally about 666 degrees at any given time there in the summer. At night, I think it might drop to like a, nice, cool 80. So, it's muggy. If you're not from the South like I am, just know that you're just going to be a disgusting mess. Just expect it. So please drink so much water, especially because Dragon Con is a party con and there's lots of alcohol. And if you don't do that, that's cool. But if you do, please God, drink water also, or you'll probably die. So yeah, the next thing, go to panels. Like, do it. Absolutely. Go to panels, even if it's just something small. Like, I've been to panels where there's like 10 people and we've just had like a super rad discussion about like cool nerdy things. I've been to panels where there's thousands of people, just as cool. So don't think that you have to just go to like the big giant panels. Check your schedule, look for things that you're interested in. You're probably going to make friends too, which is super rad because I've made so many friends at Dragon Con. So definitely do that. And I would just say another thing is give yourself a break from the crowd because, like I said, there's so many people. And especially, we're all a bunch of anxious nerds. And at least for myself, I know that sometimes I just have to go back to my room or just like go outside, find a nice place to sit when you can. Because, dear God, there's so many people. Just chill out because it just can get super overwhelming. And if you just make yourself too busy, then you're not going to have a good time. So definitely plan for that. Again, please God, plan for the heat. Like beyond just staying hydrated, like don't overdress. Like no one cares. That's something I had to learn. Like I just wear, when I'm not wearing my cosplays and stuff, which dear God, they get so hot. I just wear like shorts, t-shirts, stuff like that. As far as cosplays, if you do get hot, there are a lot of really good tutorials online as far as like putting fans or like ice packs, things like that inside of your costume to stay cool. So I've heard that helps. I honestly haven't tried it yet because I haven't really had anything like too crazy. Most of mine, like someday I'll be talented enough to be those cool guys that make like big giant costumes or anything. We'll see. So yeah, that. Expect to miss things for sure. Like you're gonna have an app that you'll download, and it's gonna have your schedule on it, and you're gonna be able to like, make your schedule, see what all panels are there. I'm gonna say that 25 plus percent. Actually, I feel like that's a low number. I don't know. Of you're gonna miss like because you're going to have a panel at 1 in the Hyatt, and then that panel is going to be an hour long. And then you're going to have another panel at 2:30 way down at like the Sheraton or something, and it's going to take you like 15, 20 minutes to get there potentially just because of the crowds. So just plan accordingly and don't be upset if you miss something. You're going to have a great time. Like, don't worry about it. Especially the big panels, like the big guests, things like that. Expect to get in line and possibly not get in. It's happened to me and it sucks, but you'll live. It'll be fine. Next thing I would say is keep your phone charged just because you never know when you might need it. You might need to meet up with somebody. And that's another thing is have a meetup spot because you're probably not going to have good cell phone service all the time. So just in case, have somewhere be like, hey, this is where we're meeting after this panel. Because if you're going with people, you guys aren't going to all go to the same things. I know Kevin and I don't. It happens. Another thing with panels, and I mentioned it before, plan on standing in the longest line that you've ever stood in your entire life. And outside in the Atlanta heat. Oh, and sometimes it rains, and that's super fun when you're in a long line for like an hour. That's also super fun. That's happened a lot. And make friends, especially when you're standing in those long lines. Talk to the people around you. Not everybody's going to want to do that. That's cool. No worries. But again, I've made so many Dragon Con friends that like from years ago, like even from our first Dragon Con, we still have friends on Facebook that we talk to and see at the con each year. So it's super fun. And last do is just, again, have an amazing time. Just don't worry too much. You're going to be super stressed out, especially if it's your first Dragon Con. But just make sure you leave time to just like roam around, have fun, look at the costumes. There's so many amazing costumes. It's insane. Like, especially on like Friday night, Saturday night, especially Saturday, just go stand in like the Hyatt or the Marriott and just look. It's so incredible. Like, that's one of my favorite views is just like looking down from the rooms or just like standing in the lobby, looking around. It's so cool. So those are kind of some of my do's. I also have some don'ts. Don't overdrink. I mean, obviously, like, we bring so much alcohol, it's stupid. But like, be careful just because there are so many people and there's just a lot going on around you. And so just being super disoriented sometimes isn't the best thing. And again, just it's hot. So, maybe if you are going to drink a lot, do it a little bit later in the day, like not when you're going to be out in the sun and stuff like that. Again, I don't take my own advice sometimes, so don't worry. But yeah, so that's the thing. Also, drinking and stupidity, please, for the love of God, do not throw things off the balconies or out the windows of your hotel room. Last year, honest to God, someone threw a chair from their room off one of the balconies. I don't remember if it was like the Hyatt or the Marriott. And somebody like got so badly hurt, like they had to go to the hospital. Like, I don't know how they didn't die. So just don't be a moron. Like, don't do stuff like that. It makes the con look stupid. You're an idiot. And like, do you really want to go to prison for murdering somebody because you were drunk and threw something? No. Who does? So another thing, don't lose your badge. So hold on to that for dear life. Kevin and I usually have like a lanyard or something because if you lose your badge, congratulations, you get to pay $125 for a new one. Yeah, because they don't. I mean, if you get lucky and somebody finds it and turns it into lost and found, cool. But there's like 50 to 70,000 people, so that's probably not going to happen. Or somebody's going to steal it and try to use it as their own. That's happened plenty of times before to people, and it sucks. It really sucks. So yeah, I would say another thing. Oh God, yeah. Please do not touch people without their consent. Again, I know this is like a huge movement right now, and it should be. Cosplay absolutely 100% does not equal consent. I don't care what they're wearing. I don't care who their character is or who your character is or who you are. Do not touch somebody without asking. It's shitty. It's rude. And would you want somebody to do that to you? I don't know. Maybe, but who cares? It doesn't matter. Just don't do it because it's so uncomfortable and it makes everyone around them uncomfortable, and it's stupid. So just don't. Another thing, as far as like cosplayers go, there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to see people sitting down, resting, eating dinner, eating lunch, and then like there's a whole like cafeteria area with like different restaurants and stuff. If somebody's sitting down and they're cosplay and they're clearly just like in their relaxation time, try to just be mindful of that. I know you're like super excited to see people in their costumes, and if you see a character and you're like, oh my God, there's a chance you may see that person again. You might not. It's okay, but just let them chill out. It's just like they're just trying to hang out, relax, and so just having to get up and take pictures while they're just trying to eat, it's annoying. At least I would think. I don't know. Another thing, just don't be rude. Don't be rude to other con goers. Don't be rude to non-con goers. I see a big thing in the Dragon Con like Facebook page and forums and stuff like that where everybody gets super mad for some reason because there dare to be people that aren't there for Dragon Con. So, like, there's a big football game and stuff like that. And I know, oh my God, nerds versus football players. Like, we must fight forever. Stop. Like, don't be rude to them. If they're rude to you, whatever, ignore them. And please, God, be good to the hotel staff. Like, I couldn't even imagine working at one of those hotels during Dragon Con or like any other big convention like that. It's got to be the worst. And just be good to them because there's just a lot of people that aren't. And so just be that person that's going to just leave a lasting good impression of our con. Another thing is don't, and I do this sometimes, and I'm the worst. Just try not to show up like 2 hours before a big panel thinking that you're going to get in line, because more than likely the con staff is probably just going to yell at you, and then that's going to make you mad, and it's just going to make them mad, and then they're probably going to make you get in the very back of the line for trying to cheat the system. General rule is usually about an hour before the panel starts. That's typically when you can get in line, and just listen for directions, follow instructions. Everybody's going to have a good time. Otherwise, again, you're probably going to get put back in the line or not to get to go in at all. So, sucks to suck. Speaking of panels, can we please stop asking the guests weird things, stop telling them weird things, and stop asking them for hugs? Like, can we not be like, I have a question. I just want to know if you can hug me and if I can kiss your face. Like, stop. Like, unless it's John Barrowman, no, not even. Like, unless he's like, hey, come up here. I want to touch your face. Like, don't ask. Like, it's so weird, and it physically makes my body turn inside out when somebody goes up to like one of their celebrity crushes during a panel and says some just like super weird things to them. Like last year, this lady told John Cusack that he was her like one hall pass that she could have, and just like the physical discomfort in his face, I'm just like, okay. That's cool. So yeah, I know that there are a lot of people there that we just want to kiss their perfect little faces, but we just can't. Just keep it in your little brain. Keep it on your little Tumblr blog. It's fine, okay? It's going to be okay. So last thing as far as do nots, again, this is just kind of like respect to the hotel. Please just like, don't trash the hotel. Throw your stuff away. Don't trash your room. If you have a party in your room, that's awesome. Cool, great, clean it up. Don't destroy the carpets, as best you can. I mean, I know there's 70,000 people, stuff's going to happen. If you spill something, it happens. Try to clean it up the best you can. Again, that kind of goes back to the throwing stuff off the balconies. That's also destroying things. And if we keep doing things like that, are they going to keep inviting us back? Probably not. And so I would just say be respectful. As far as things that Kevin and I enjoy to do, I'm not telling you what to do with your con. I'm just giving like personal things that I find the funnest. I don't think that that's a word, but we're going to go with it. The Voltaire concert. If you don't know who he is, listen to his music ahead of time. Super fun time. He likes to play this game where if he forgets a lyric to his song, he stops the song, drinks rum, and starts the song over. And so that's a vicious cycle. He's amazing. He's a perfect human being. Next thing I would say is the DC Douglas panel. Just go to it. I will just say that it is a fan fiction reading, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a fun time, and just go to it. Another panel that we really enjoy. It's probably like one of our all-time favorite things to do. They didn't have it last year, and our little hearts were broken. It's called XDR. You're gonna look at it on your schedule, and you're gonna be like, okay. It's basically what Kevin and I just do like on a daily basis, which is get drunk and watch weird videos. But it's so amazing. It lasts like 482 hours long, so you don't have to stay for the whole thing. But if you do, you're a better person for it. Just saying, like we've gone to that panel so much, and I know other people have too, that there are inside jokes for that panel, and if you know them, you're the best. Just saying, did you see the pool? So yeah, it's super fun. They just show weird videos, and there's lots of drinking, and the panelists are like just perfect and precious, and I love them. So that's a really fun time. I would also say do like one of the shadow casting, like Dr. Horrible. I think that's what they're doing this year because it's the 10th anniversary of Dr. Horrible, which is going to be awesome. I think there's like an official like Evil League of Evil from Atlanta coming, and it's going to be super rad. So that's something I always like doing. As far as eating and stuff like that, again, we love going to 22 Stories in the Hyatt. It's our favorite. We also like going to, as far as like if you're just going to the mall to eat nearby or something like that, Willie's. It's like on the way far end. It's a burrito place. It's so amazing. I know that sounds like super random and generic, but let me tell you, when it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're starving in between panels and you just need something fast, it's awesome. So as far as that's what I would say like most important to me. If I'm missing something, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys enjoy about Dragon Con. And I really hope to see you guys in 3 weeks. It's going to be awesome. I've got some really cool cosplays lined up. Kevin and I are doing BoJack and Princess Carolyn. That's going to be awesome. I'm doing Shadman because I'm absolute trash bag garbage. Yep, so that's happening. And then we're probably just going to do some fun, cute, like light stuff. Like I think we're going to do like our like schoolgirl Reaper and Soldier 76, things like that. It's going to be a good blast. Super excited. Super much needed. And yeah, so see you in 3 weeks and have a good one. Bye.